Game of Thrones, Season 3, Episode 5, titled Kissed by Fire. Great title, by the way. Besides the introduction to a really cool sword fight scene, some nudity, a real sexual scene from both ends where the men's courting the woman in a sexual manner, the woman is courting the man in a sexual manner. So we got full nudity, we got some violence, we got some sword fighting, but really thematically, this episode is about finding individuality in the crazy world that is Game of Thrones. So all 7 of these families are trying to find their territory. Everybody's in war, blah, 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 blah. And basically all these characters in the episode are trying to find their individuality, trying to find who they are. But of course, there's always the great Kaiser Soze or the gods or the father itself, especially the last scene with the Lannister father, who orders both of his kids, his grown kids at that, to marry people elsewhere to help out the clan of the bigger picture of the war. So basically everybody's trying to conquer, everybody's trying to obsessed with their gods or whatever you want to call it, and you can't find their individuality. So Games of Thrones seems to be going in circles and circles and circles. And is that what the point is of the novel? I haven't, like I said, I haven't read the novels and previous reviews. I'm just going episode by episode. But is that really the point of what we're trying to see here in the novel? Is that the higher purpose here? Is that if you look at humanity, every human being, every culture needs to have people have individual freedom. Of course, the mayhem could go on around them, but that's how we evolve as a species. So basically, in the little fantasy world of Game of Thrones, everybody's looking for territory and everybody's obsessed with their god. They don't have their individuality. But of course, as characters, as human beings, you need to find your individuality. You need to get what that's all about. So even the great metaphor of this episode is that when she frees the slaves and basically the slaves have their old names, kind of fitting if let's go back to 150 years in America history. So the slaves have the names that the slave owners gave them, and she's basically saying to them, no, you can have your own names now. You can come up with your own names, even though you're fighting for me. But basically at the same time, you can have your individuality, and there's nothing more individual than your own name. But of course, there's nothing more claustrophobic than your own name, especially the Lannisters and the other cultures where just because you have a certain last name, you're claustrophobic and you're holding your own to basically what your ancestors and what your legacy is trying to tell you what to do. So anyways, good episode, some cool stuff. Like I said, there's always they give the action, they always give us the sexuality, but at the same time they're giving us an underlying theme of what this basically series is all about. That's my review.